the title of the kind of the talk is Never Negotiate the Difference. So in hostage situations, you cannot always just split the difference. Let's say there's two hostages, they kidnapped your family, they kidnapped your kids. You got two kids, they kidnapped your kids. You cannot say, hey, you know what, just give me one. Right? Right? True? Right?
I mean, it might throw them off.
All right. Okay. Right. We're just going to go into the addition on this situation. We ain't trying to go to algebra. Not until Kenny can write down the name of the business. You know what I mean? I got to talk to the level of the room I got. You know what I mean? So, in life, and most of the time in life, almost every one of you is always in a negotiation of some sort. Right? Maybe you just don't realize it. But look, dating and talking to somebody in the evenings about going on a date and, relationships and, being in a relationship and saying, hey, you make dinner, I'll make dinner. I mean, all these things are actually negotiations, right? And you need to, take the idea that negotiations aren't a finite situation. I think a lot of times when you guys present to a business owner, right, you think you only have to do it one time. And so you're willing to throw the whole kitchen sink into the situation to get the close, right? And what I want to tell you, and it's very interesting about this book I read, many times, right, this hostage negotiator, he was the highest ranking national hostage negotiator in the world, right, found himself negotiating with terrorists and found himself negotiating with the same terrorist year after year after year, right? And I think you guys need to realize that when you negotiate with a business owner, you negotiate with anybody, not to treat it like it's a finite thing, as in, once I'm done with this negotiation, it's over, right? There's a good chance you're going to have to return back to the negotiating table with that person, right? So if I'm in a relationship, right, with a business partner, and, maybe I'm upset with the business partner, maybe I want to go left and they want to go right, and I come in with all these negotiating tactics and skills, and I just beat them down, right? Just beat them down, and I get my way. That might not be the best course of action, because since they're a business partner, isn't there a good chance that something else is going to come up, right, in our business where we're going to come back to the table, right? And if I just beat them down, right, they're not going to want to come back to the negotiating table, and that's probably going to be the end of that business relationship. You guys see what I'm saying? And you guys need to consider that when you're talking to business owners and when you're talking to bookkeepers and when you're talking to anybody in life, right? Like, everything's a negotiation, but not everything has to be a hard-driven, I'm going to beat the hell out of them. And I don't think a lot of you have that problem. I think all of you have a different problem, and that is you're the lower person in the negotiation, and you need to recognize yourself as an equal power by learning some tactics. Do you see what I mean? Right? So, once again, I want you guys to think, you can't always just split the difference, right? If the only option is going left or going right, it's a T in the road, right? We cannot just say, well, let's just drive straight down the Indiana cornfield. You know how there's roads like that? You get to a T, right? You're going to go left, you're going to go right, or you're going to drive through someone's soybeans, right? You can't just do that. So sometimes you got to do that. Entrepreneurs, right, need to be fair and tactical when it comes to negotiating. So that's why we're talking about this. This is why it makes sense, right? An entrepreneur, at the end of the day, to me, is really someone who knows how to manage different situations, knows a lot, knows a little about a lot of different things, right? And is a very good salesperson. Well, a salesperson who's really good is actually a master negotiator. And I can tell you this, my best advice on you, if you want to learn how to be a negotiator, is do a lot of it. Our sales cycle isn't big enough for you guys to become a master negotiator. It's not fast enough, right? Because, for example, when I was in the car industry, I might have negotiated 50 car deals in a day. Do you see what I mean? So it's kind of hard to get at that. But with enrolling, you could, right? The interesting thing is you can't change anything. You can't split the difference. The price is the price here, right? But the best way to become a good negotiator is to negotiate.